looking at this and trying to figure out how to communicate with you all about the fact that what we're looking at here is a dream. And I know it, you go to sleep at night, and I don't know about you, but I have dreams, and in those dreams, there's like people that in the dream world, I know them, and in the dream world, I've had a history with them, and there's all kinds of things happening. When you sleep, the boundaries that you have with this physical world, well, they're a lot looser. Like you can fly, and like you can travel from one place to another instantly. There's a certain freedom in your dreams that you don't have in this waking dream, in the physical body, because of the limitations. But still, the thing about this dream is that it goes on for a long time, so you have a certain history. And in that history, you start adopting that as your history. So this is your thing. This is your life. It makes it seem much more substantial. But I want to convey to you that it's only a more substantial dream. It's not a reality. The thing about this is, you trust what you think, say, and do. You trust all these things in the world as you perceive them as being the way it is. And, throughout the history of most of mankind, people believed that the earth was flat because that's what they saw. Those perceptions were not correct. And throughout the history of most of mankind, people believed that the sun revolved around the earth because that's what they saw. But this is not correct. Someone described this as like a simulation, this world. And they described it like when you look at your computer screen, you have a file there. You open the file and your writings there, or whatever it is that you put in there. But, there's no file in your computer. There's no blue file in there. There's no box. None of that stuff is there. It's just a bunch of electronics and gadgets and switches and things moving. It's stuff that you wouldn't understand. If you had to try and understand what's in your computer, you could never send an email. It would be too complicated. So what you have are representations that you can understand and deal with and function and make work for you. And what they're saying is that, in fact, that's what this world is. It's just a bunch of simulations that make it so you can maneuver around in it. You can figure out, okay, that's an apple. Your mind says the red color, the taste, all of it is an apple, you see. But it could be entirely different. You don't know. It could be entirely different. There's people who are colorblind who don't see red as red. They see it as a different color. Who's right? It's just your perception. I'm sure there's other species on this planet that see apples entirely differently than you and I do. Who's right? What's real? None of it's real. The thing to remember is that no matter how convinced you are and how convincing it is, this is still a simulation. It's what I call a virtual reality. It's not a true reality. It's a virtual reality. And you function through it in your day-to-day. But I want you to carry this with you throughout your moments. You know your dreams at night, and they're easily discounted when you wake up. Not so easily discounted when you're in the middle of them. When you're in the middle of the dream, you're thinking it's real. And it doesn't matter how outrageous, whatever it is that's going on or you're doing, you're feeling that it's actually happening. You see? You have that here. But you see, you have a history. So like I was going through all my old books and photographs today, and I'm like laughing because I have evidence of this dream, I can prove it really happened. But really, what has happened? What in your past has happened? It's really odd to think, but in truth, nothing has happened. Nothing ever happened. You see, there's just a bunch of appearances here and movements locked in time and space. And from that, you build what you consider to be a reality. But it's not a reality. It's a dream. And if you can really start to look at your life through this lens, it's going to be very hard for you to take things too seriously. And when you do take things seriously, ask yourself, who is this? Who is this person? Who is this character who thinks this is happening to them? Who is it who thinks they're doing something here? You see, you want to know who that is. And I'll tell you, as a little hint, whoever it is, it ain't you. It's someone purporting to be you. It's someone pretending to be you. I think that the power of imagination is something that has been way undersold. We think it's just for children, but I think adults have a much stronger power of imagination. And by my theory, what I'm passing on to you, this concept is that this whole world is a product of your imagination. You've imagined this whole thing. That's the power of the mind. The imagination continues even while you're sleeping. The mind is always conjuring up, imagining this, imagining that. Maharaj said that everything here, all this, is your imagination. This entire world is a product of your imagination. So sit with this for a while. Sit with this in your daily and see if it rings true to you or not. See if you can actually feel what it is I'm talking about in your daily life, in your day-to-day. Just work with this, because I think it's important to keep perspective, to remember that actually this is not real, that it's a virtual reality, which by definition is not a true reality. And I think when you can see it that way, you don't need to be married to it. You don't need to be so strongly connected with it. Sure, there's a body-mind and it requires certain maintenance and this and that, and there's things happening and there's feelings and all of that, but you don't need to link up to it as being you. And it would be much easier on you if you were able to rest in that sense of being, that pure sense of I am, and let the character that you've been playing all these years play out its life on its own. You can watch it, you can see it, but don't be it. that's not who you are. It's just like your dream. It's just a scene going on, and there's just a play going on, and there's all these feelings, and you have good days and bad days, and you have pleasure and you have discomfort, pain. That's how life is, you see. And so let's see if you can carry this with you, and the side effects, if you manage it, will be having a more peaceful life.